Is there really anything to fear? What are you afraid of? Is it the darkness or what's in the dark? Demons, evil spirits, ghosts? Or how about extraterrestrial beings, Bigfoot? Are you afraid of that spell that someone put on you or curse? Or are you more afraid of the people in this world? Ones that steal from you, rob you, want to hurt you? Or the ones that you love? Are you more afraid of the virus, the government, the people in power trying to destroy your way of living? Or are you afraid of death or living forever? Or are you afraid of facing how you feel? Yoda said, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear is what brings into your experience things to be afraid of, experiences to be afraid of, people to be afraid of. Do these things actually exist? People on this planet would agree that things like COVID, people who lie, steal, cheat, and cause harm to others do in fact exist. People are divided on whether or not paranormal experiences, beings exist. But what does it mean to exist? Existence is defined as an objective state of being. But can anything objectively exist? If it did, we would never know, because we can't escape the experience of being a subject. All then that we can know is through our experience, which is subjective. We can't know that anything exists objectively. Based on that definition of existence, that would mean nothing exists. So to even talk about existence, we have to change the meaning of existence. Let's say that existence is what we experience. Then if that were the case, some people experience things other people don't. So it seems that something can exist for some people and not for others. So we still haven't answered the question if there's anything to be afraid of. Go to part 2, where I'm going to explain more. Quantum physics experiments seem to tell us that existence coincides with a subject. Photons, which make up atoms, which makes up the rest of reality, as we experience it, are considered to have both the properties of waves and particles. They exist as waves when not measured, and particles when measured. It has a location, it's because we measured it. This is called the observer effect. But it's not what most people think. People often tend to think that because there is an observer, then there is a particle. If this were the case, then all of the waves we cannot see would also be particles that we could see. What is actually causing it to be a particle is the assumption behind the question that is asked when it's measured. If we choose to measure it, we are assuming we will find it in a location. And if there is something to find in a location, we are assuming it's a particle. So it is the assumption behind the question that is asked, where is it located? Many people believe that the wave function collapses to a single location when it is measured. Others believe in a theory called the many worlds theory, in which there are many realms, worlds, realities that branch off with every possibility. So there's worlds identical to ours with slight variations, and on forever. I see it as a little bit different than both. I think the probability wave does not collapse. Those are all the locations we could see it, experience it, but we experience the one or see the one based on our assumption of what is true about reality and the world. The difference between experiencing a photon in one location and not the other is our perception. Objectively, the photon's location at another spot is not more real than another, but because it takes a subject, or what we call reality, to be real, subjectively we see one as existing and the other as not. The question I asked in part 1, is there anything to fear? Go to part 3 for more. Fear is an assumption that something can harm you. And by this assumption, bringing things into reality, your experience of the world, that can harm you, including people. This can be experienced on a large scale, like an atomic bomb, COVID, earthquakes, volcanoes, wars, global warming, etc. Or this can be more on a personal level, like cancer, someone who personally offends you, a ghost that haunts you, being possessed by a demon. Fear is really the root of all evil. So should we protect ourselves? Protecting yourself may bring you the comfort of feeling like you are safe. but it also brings into existence the thing that you believe can harm you. So what do? Madame Curie said, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood." I have heard this story in another video, but one time, while exploring my own consciousness, I took mushrooms. I saw what looked like a demon of light on top of my husband, and he said he was God and that I must obey him. And I looked at him confused. He kept repeating himself, but my confusion in that moment was because I knew who I was. I understood that I was a being that was powerful, and there was nothing above me or below me, and so was this being that I was seeing. But he didn't understand that because he was asking me to obey him. So I laughed and said I don't obey anyone. This could have scared me or anyone else, and I could have been scared by any demon-looking creature that I've seen, or alien-looking beings that I've seen, or really tall Egyptian-looking beings that I've seen. But every time I saw them, I knew that they were powerful and purposeful, and I understood my own. Maybe situations that I come across in life that I could be scared of. For instance, if I was in the path of a tornado, would I not be scared? I don't know. But I do know that being scared of dying or scared that something can harm you is what assumes into reality your death and your ability to be harmed. Go to part 4. Worry is faith in what you fear. It is making the assumption that what you fear is true, that it is real, that it exists. And as it says in the Bible, Matthew 17:25, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, "Move from here to there," and it will move, and nothing will be impossible. Faith is the assumption in what is not seen, and this is exactly what worry is. So what do you have faith in? Do you choose from fear or its opposite, love? Look at your actions and choices. What are they based on? If you fear, ask why. Invest in understanding it so that you no longer fear it. This includes the fear of other people. What you see in this reality is a reflection of you. It's the reflection of your mostly subconscious assumptions about the world and about reality. It is there for you to understand you, so that you can learn to not be fearful and understand the powerful you, being who sees through the eyes of love. 1 John 4:18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out all fear, because fear involves torment. He who fears has not been made perfect in love." Two people can stand in the same location and have two totally different experiences. The one who fears will be tormented. One who loves will see beauty and bliss. There are realities within this reality that we do not see because we do not comprehend them. Do not be afraid of the dark. Instead, shine a light on it, and you will be able to see the glory within it. Darkness cannot see the light because darkness does not comprehend it. Once you comprehend the light, a whole new world, things that you previously could not see, will open up to you. You will be the light in the darkness and see your reflection.